Hey guys, long time no see. It's me, your faithful host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD, and today we're going to start a brand new adventure through a game called Sodden Sanctuary. For those of you who don't know about this game, Sodden Sanctuary was developed by Ska Studios, and it was released in 2016. It's a 2D side-scroller, platforming type game with really heavy Dark Souls and Castlevania vibes. It's dark, it's gritty, it's unforgiving and difficult. It's wicked fun, is what it is. But the reason I want to share this with you is because I've owned this game since the day it came out in 2016, but I never played it until just a few days ago. I was scrolling through my library, I saw it, and I thought to myself, why haven't I played this game? And decided to give it a shot, and I could not believe how fun it was. So I played about 2 hours in, and then I stopped and was like, man, I gotta take them with me. I've just gotta take them with me. So here I am, bringing you guys with me on my very first playthrough of Sodden Sanctuary. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So for this character that I'm making, I'm going to focus on dexterity. And I tried every single class, like literally all of them inside that 2 hours. I made like 10 different characters, explored different skill trees and different abilities, and I found... Look at this guy's face, man. I love this design, this origin. He's got this big grin. It just looks like he's up to no good. Kind of reminds me of the Joker. And you guys know I have a soft spot for the Joker. But anyway, I tried everything from the Knight all the way down to the Hunter. I think the Hunter was my favorite class to play as because that whip is super versatile. And the crossbow is really good for pulling enemies so you don't get overwhelmed. But for this playthrough, I'm going to go with the Thief. Thief has the highest dexterity out of any starting class. And I'm going to choose the Amber Idol as my starting gift because the Amber Idol is going to help me get my first powerful sword. You can choose healing items. There's a Stone Cell Sword. There's the Grasping Ring, which gives you more salt per enemy kill, which I suppose that would be useful. Everything adds up. And then a Crystal Sphere is just an upgrade item for special weapons. But I'm going to go with the Idol. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. I'm excited about this. This world has known war for centuries, but peace is finally preciously near. We'd deliver the princess to the kingdom across the sea where a marriage alliance would save us all. Failing this mission would surely plunge us into darker days. That sounds fun to me. Looks like we've got a mission to fail, boys. So this game spits you out on this big, dark, leaky boat, and the first thing you're going to notice about this game is the art style. It is pretty unique. I don't think I've ever played another game that looks like this. But this ship is just the beginning level, the boss is directly above us, and we only have a few enemies to kill before we get to him. This guy says, "You there, stranger. We've been boarded in the night. They'll want to kidnap our lady, ransom her." I'm assuming the lady is the person who's supposed to get married to save the world with this alliance. Protect her and save us. I suppose I could. Now, this game is super violent. I should probably disclose that to anybody watching. It's got lots of blood and guts. The deaths are very brutal in this game, so if you're squeamish and you don't like blood, maybe you shouldn't watch. But I'm not. So this game has a very satisfying combo system. Looks something like that. You can do plenty of different weapon combos. Tons of different combos for tons of different weapons. It's a lot of fun. And another thing this game has is a parry system. Check that out. Pretty cool. This ain't Dark Souls, you can't just roll away from me. Alright, so anybody who played Demon Souls is going to feel some nostalgia on this very first boss. For those of you who did play Demon Souls, if you remember, the very first boss is the Vanguard, and you're supposed to die to him. But this game, it's the same way. You're probably supposed to die to this boss, but if you're patient and you don't get greedy, you can beat him. And you get some special rewards for doing so. This is the Unspeakable Deep. Now, the general strategy against this guy is stay behind him. Let him do his thing, you roll past him, get a couple hits in, rinse and repeat. And you'll notice that we do pretty much no damage and his health pool is enormous, so I'm apologizing ahead of time. This is going to take forever, and I'm sorry. I suppose we could talk about something while we do this. Let's pick a topic. I feel like I can hear you guys screaming, "Where were you?" That's probably what you guys want to talk about, right? So, alright, we've got a minute before this guy dies. I have been extremely busy with lots of stuff. I switched jobs. I found myself a new career. I'm not in sales anymore. Ditched that. Been working on lots of stuff. I found the person I want to marry. That's great. It's also really big thing that happened for me. What else has happened for me? Where to begin? I think lots of stuff has happened since the last time I uploaded, but it'd be hard to go over everything in just the course of this one boss fight, so I'll talk about a few things. I did play Sekiro. I have Sekiro. Some of you might be disappointed to hear this, but honestly, I don't really like the game. Like, I tried really hard to like it. I played it more than once. I tried a few times, like with maximum effort, to try to get all the way through the game, but I just can't. Like, there's something about it I really don't like, and I think it has a lot to do with playing as Wolf. I like playing as a character who's my own character. I want to be able to change armors, change weapons. I want to do all of that cool RPG stuff. And playing as just one character who uses the same weapon the entire game, same exact attacks, same exact sword, same exact orange outfit, same everything, it just, I don't know, it's tough for me. But that's not to say it's a bad game. Like, the actual fighting and stuff and the mechanics in the game are ingenious. Like, the parry system and all that, I was honestly blown away with the combat and the fighting in the game. Like, that part was extremely satisfying and very fun, but for some reason, just everything else, like, the story doesn't really captivate me. And playing as Wolf kind of takes away from the game, but, I don't know. It's probably difficult for you guys to hear because I know like 90% of you are wanting me to do an expert walkthrough on that game, which, don't get me wrong, that's probably still going to happen. Like, even though I didn't necessarily enjoy the game, I will probably still play through it and do an expert walkthrough. Man, this guy, we are still barely halfway through. Just die. I mean, come on, let's just analyze what's happening here. I'm this tiny, naked man with a knife, and you are this giant beast from the sea. If you haven't been able to land a hit on me yet, it's clear who's going to win. You should just give up now. Make it easier on both of us. I got people watching who are waiting for you to die, man. Are you gonna leave them disappointed? Goodness. Yeah, you can frog around all you want, man. You're still gonna die. And this is really all there is to it. You stay behind him, and he dies. And try to stay away from the walls. I should probably say that. The biggest thing you want to worry about with this guy is don't fight him near a wall. You'll regret it. Man, he just keeps jumping. Alright. It's getting down to the wire. We're almost there. I know this seems ridiculous. It seems a little over the top and almost almost pointless to sit here and hack away at this dude, but in my experience, it's pretty necessary if you want to start the game the right way. Boy, if you keep jumping... Man, you are going to need some new ankles by the end of this fight, I'm telling you. Guys, I am so sorry. I know this is taking forever. This is the worst. But I gotta kill him. Come over here, man. And just a few more hits. We are almost there. Boy, if you don't quit jumping across the boat. Almost there. I think him jumping is what's making it take so long. If he would just start trying to hit the boat with his hand, or do the slam attack like he's supposed to, this would probably be over a lot quicker. He's doing it on purpose. He knows I'm gonna win. He's just stalling. Come here. Whee! And that's how it's done. Failing this mission would surely plunge us into darker days. I awoke to the sounds of waves washing on rock, and I knew I was alive. I must find the princess. Okay, so perks for beating the Unspeakable Deep: a Shimmering Pearl, a Drowned Tome, a Black Pearl, and the massive 8,000 salt you see below. So these items in particular, take a look at them. The Black Pearl is basically a stat point in this game. It allows you to advance further in the tree of skills. The Drowned Tome, I couldn't tell you what this does because I haven't had an opportunity to use it. I didn't get far enough in the game to figure out how to use this thing or what to apply it to. And the Shimmering Pearl is an upgrade item used for making special weapons. So let's put our armor back on so we can have some kind of defense. Let's get moving. So we are on the Shivering Shore. Now this guy here, the first NPC that you run into, once you get outside of the tutorial level, which, can you even call it a tutorial? It didn't tell you how to play the game, but the beginning level, once you finish that, this is your first NPC, and he helps you pick your creed, which is kind of like your covenant. He says, well, hello there. You're just a fleshy bit of flotsam washed ashore with the rest of us. You'll want shelter, you'll want sanctuary, but what is a sanctuary without faith? There's an empty sanctuary up the beach. You can claim it for your creed. Tell me, do you keep the new gods? Now, the way you can go through this is you can tell him yes, and you can say whichever of the three he offers you. He's going to offer you 3 different creeds. They're all different, and I usually just go with the first one, the king, the knight, and the judge. And he gives you a 3-pronged candle, which is the symbol of that particular creed. These bottles all over the place are developer messages, and if you play online, they can be player messages. Couple of grunts on this hill. So this chest has the key for that sanctuary he just mentioned to us. And there you have it. We've found our first sanctuary. You use your sanctuary item to claim these areas, which I guess if we're trying to use relative terms, you could call this your bonfire. Now that we've rested, we have our red flasks, which is essentially our Estus flask. And this is where you can level up. You can see your new skills that you can acquire by exploring and going whatever direction you want in the tree. It is massive, as you can see. There's a shit ton of things you can do in this tree. There's plenty of places to go. We'll get around to that in a bit. And you can also make offerings in the form of these stone idols, so you can summon various NPCs to your location. Now what I'm going to do, may as well use all the salt that we got from the Unspeakable Deep, so we can level up. And again, this is the best way to start the game, is if you beat that guy, you can roll into the first area as level 12 instead of level 2, and you'll be much better off. And if you're wondering why I didn't use any of my black pearls and go up the skill tree, I'm not going to do any of that just yet. Okay, we are going to clean up our items real quick. Yeah, I think these are the only things I want to equip, is just healing items, essentially. And I'll keep my Creed item on just because. This right here is a shortcut that we'll unlock later. There we go. That's what I like to do. I like to make that guy drop down so I can get at this archer up here. Now, one cool thing that I noticed about this game, as I made several different characters during my first couple hours of playing, is these 3 corpses that hang here, they always change. Like, they're always different for some reason. Like, next time we come through here, it won't be these same 3 guys. It'll be 3 completely different people. And I think that's pretty cool. So here's our first area of bad guys, the Festering Banquet. So the smartest thing to do in this area is, for sure, take the archers out first. Once you get rid of them, you're good. The only thing left now is to clear the rest of the grunts. I think there's 2 that wake up right here. Maybe? Yeah, there's 1. Ooh. Let's pick up this salt out here real quick. Oh, there's the other guy. I think that's pretty cool. The heavy attack, you do this little twirl with it in your hand and then jab it right into their jugular. Alright, so this guy is your first, like, slightly difficult enemy. He's a step above the other ones, and he's by no means hard. But he does do more damage, and he's got a couple different attacks that might throw you off, give you some trouble. Man, I gotta ditch this knife as quick as possible. Alright, we had a stone merchant and another bundle of salt. I'll keep the potato equipped. It's lucky. Got a torch and more throwing daggers. I don't need those. So this dog, you really have to watch out with this dog. The dogs like to jump in this game. They can definitely be a pain in the ass if you're not careful. These bats, thank God the bats die in like 1 hit. They poison you. And no, that wasn't a coronavirus joke. Like, legit, they cause poison. Okay. Now I'm going to go this way, and this whole design that they do with the levels where it's like there's 10 different ways to access the same room, it may seem slightly confusing and kind of off-putting at first, but you get used to it super fast. I remember I found it a little bit confusing the first time. Like, I was wondering why they designed it that way, why they made it to where you can have 5 different doors to get to the same room. It's honestly just creative level design. Great. Plug that in real quick before I die. How many times has that happened on this channel? Man. Somebody who's been watching my videos for years now. Figure that out. Tell me. How many times has my controller died while I was playing and pretty much almost killed me? I'm sure somebody's got to know. Pick this guy up. The grenades. Hell yeah. Where are you going, man? You're like twice the size of me. Why are you running away? Whew. Yeah, he hits hard. He broke my guard in one hit, if you saw. These big obelisk things, they actually allow you to invert gravity, and that's something that we'll be talking about later once we have the ability, but that's one of the coolest features I came across in the game in the short amount of time I played it, was the inverted gravity ability. Die. Alright, Lucky Potato, don't fail me! Alright. Oh shit. Yee! Where'd he go? Oh shit. Come on out. Oh god. That was the worst whiff I've ever seen in my entire life. Please forgive me. Ooh, hello. Did you think I was just gonna walk away? Don't be silly. Okay, right there. So this is kind of what it is. The reason they give you 10 different ways to get to the same room is because sometimes it leads to a ledge that's otherwise inaccessible. Like maybe something you couldn't jump to or couldn't reach without going through that separate entrance to get to that room. So Mend is a skill for healing, I believe. We're not going to be using that. And this door is locked. Got to beat the boss to get the key for this door. And right here, a little hidden sanctuary. Just a little mini one. And here we get our stone blacksmith. So that's how we're going to be able to summon a blacksmith to our sanctuary. And this is the first boss. The Sodden Knight. So for this guy, I'm actually going to equip the grenades. So right out of the box, they give you a boss that has a second phase, which is pretty solid. I like the design of this boss. He's got this big giant sword. He's got a couple different melee attacks that he uses. He's got like a stab, and then he's got the big chop where he jumps through the air. And then he has the lightning ability. So you'll notice the lightning ability is the only one that really leaves him open. Not for long, though. So right now it's just one-hit combos. That's it. He only swings once. However, once he reaches 50% HP in a second, ooh boy. Damn it. Let me out of this corner. I think one more hit ought to do it, honestly. There he goes. The glowing eyes. Check this out. Now he jumps afterwards. Pretty solid. And then as you continue to deplete his health, his combos get more and more advanced. Check that out. Yeah, he's got like the triple chop. And sometimes after he does that leap, he'll turn around and swing again immediately. Yeah, these are the best things to use on him once he gets to this phase. Oh! That's a trade I'll take, pal. I know it probably seemed a little cheap to finish him off with the grenades from a distance, but this dinky-ass little knife that I have just doesn't get the job done. But once you beat him, you get the Sodden Knight's ashes, and you get the key that's going to help us proceed forward. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling the Dark Souls vibes? Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Actually, I'm going to hit this thing real quick. So now is a good time to explain this mechanic, actually. You notice how my maximum health and stamina are starting to deplete as I keep playing. But as soon as I touch this thing, they're restored. It's an in-game mechanic where, as you keep playing and as you stray further away from your sanctuary, your health and stamina starts to deplete. It pressures you to find new checkpoints. So we use Fortress Key, and now we're out here. This guy with the spear, or the halberd, I should say, and the shield, I feel like he's kind of the Sigurd of this game. You'll see what I mean. He says, "Greetings, traveler. Do you have a quest?" Of course we do. Rescuing a princess. I haven't seen any princesses, but don't lose hope, friend. Anyways, it's good to have a quest. Would you like to know what my quest is? Of course I would. Excellent. My quest is to invade that castle to the east, defeat its guardians, and slay the dragon. Castles must be invaded, and dragons must be slain, mustn't they? So he's just like the Onion Bro. He's got this thing going, this quest. We don't know why, we don't know what he's supposed to be doing, or what his motives are. We just know that he's trying really damn hard to do it. So we should help him. This is our first fork in the path in this game. If you go straight, it'll take you to the Bandit's Pass. But that's not where I'm going to go. I'm going to snag this pitchfork and this bag of salt. But I always prefer to go down for this part. We got an axe, some trousers, and a tunic. Oh boy, more bats. Yeah, you'll notice I tend to break all the shit because I feel like every time you break something, there's something good in it, like money or salt. So this right here is pretty important. We just got the bow. This is going to be what I use to pull the enemies. It actually does pretty good damage. Like, I mean, honestly, saying that the bow is only good for pulling in this game is an insult to the bow because you can actually hit pretty hard with it. I'm going to grab that spear and that bundle of salt. I don't care about the spear, but I do care about the salt. And this is our first merchant. He says, "Hello, friend. Trinkets to sell, trinkets for coin." He sells the lock of hair, which I would call this the Titanite shard of this game. It's just a base level upgrade item. It'll upgrade the armor that we're wearing right now, and both the weapon and the shield that we have, as well as the bow, I believe. But it'll take your weapons to like +3, I think, or something like that. And the Endless Fang is just an item drop that you can get from dogs. So I'm not sure why he offers it, but it's kind of a waste of money. If you start as the hunter and you have that crossbow, he sells bolts and flame bolts. This is pretty useful. Like, it's a good place to buy a bunch of these because you're going to be using that thing if you play as the hunter. And he sells the torch, which we already have, and then the stained page. I don't recommend buying this item from him because we're actually about to pick one up in just a second. Ooh, I should show you. He sells the boss's armor. The Doppelsoldner armor. This is what the Sodden Knight wears. It's class 2 heavy armor, so we can't wear it, but I'm sure it's probably good. Probably has lots of defense. God bless. And then past here is just a dead end. So we have a new enemy right here, something we haven't run into yet. Here's a perfect opportunity to use the bow, because this guy's kind of an asshole. I hate this guy. Oh no! Eee. He has really long reach with those damn arms of his. But you can get close and personal with him. You can take care of him. We got a couple arrows back, and then incidentally unlocked our first illusory wall in this game. Well, I guess it's not an illusory wall, but it's a hidden wall. We have a lightning bolt and another torch. That's going to be your first powerful spell that you pick up in the game if you play as like a mage or something. Now this room, there's like ultra badass in this room. Look at this guy. He's like a pyramid head spider leg thing with a giant sword. He sucks. He'll ruin your day. He's pretty much impossible to kill, especially at this level. So what I recommend you do is just run past him and pick up the stone mage and the stained page back here. And we're gone. Not gonna try to fight that guy. He is insanely tough. Like, I tried to kill him multiple times on those other characters that I made when I first played, and I couldn't figure out how to kill him. Okay, I think we have some more bats here. What's new? Ah! Trying to poison me. Where'd you go? There you are. Alright, and this is another shortcut. And then we get a stone guide and a calling horn. So this is the shortcut I was talking about, right back here at the very first sanctuary. And this is something cool I can show you too. This is another player who died right here. And this is their headstone. If you break it, it's kind of like a bloodstain. It'll show you how they died. It doesn't show you much. Like, I don't even know what happened to that guy. But, hey, it's there. It's something you can do. There's a couple more right there. I'm not surprised right here because I think your first time through, you are very likely to die on this part. Especially if these bats gang up on you. They're a pain in the ass. Okay, this part right here. The Village of Smiles. So, initially when you walk into this place, there's this tripwire in front of you, and it's going to send down that giant spiky log up there in the tree. What I recommend you do is use it against these dogs right here. So, switch to something like a bow or throwing knives or something. You know, honestly, I think I'm just going to chuck bombs at these guys, like... Well, it almost worked. It's actually super useful against that knight over there, too. He's a pain in the ass. But, we're going to make short work of him. Come on. There we go. This is the way to kill these guys. You have to be very careful, because there's no iframes in this game when you're attacking somebody. So, even though I was technically in the parry animation against the knight, the dog can still hurt me. And curb stomp. Alright. We got a Bell of Return, and he dropped 500 salt. That's pretty solid. Somebody died right here. Here's their headstone. Yeah, they got wrecked. So there's 3 enemies right here. You got a guy with a bow up here. Take care of him. Only takes about 3 arrows to kill him. And next is these 2. Only 2 for him, and this guy we don't need to waste arrows on. We can handle this guy. Okay, more arrows, sweet. And then we just picked up 3 locks of hair. That's nice. It's instead of having to buy them from that merchant, you can just get a couple right there. Oh no! I didn't roll in time. It's that damn jump attack, I'm telling you. That's the only thing about those dogs. And then right here is a shield that blocks a lot of poison, but other than that, its resistances are not exactly the best. Like the shield we have right now is better, believe it or not. Okay, we have another tripwire right here, which is going to activate this crossbow, and you can use this. Let's see, maybe I should. Oh, goodness. You motherfucker. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, I think I'm going to switch to another throwing item. Just so I can start pulling these enemies. This dog right here. Okay, no! Well, I ruined it. I was going to kill him with the tripwire, but game had other plans for me. Okay. So this is kind of weird. When you encounter this scarecrow, for some reason it just like pisses your character off. It's like ultra provoking. I'm not sure what the idea behind it is, but I'll let you be the judge of it. It says, curiosity. What creature persists in the face of such suffocating despair? The others have begun to kneel. Will it join them? I think the best response comes from no, if you say no. Because if you say yes, your character gets all emotional and completely offended by this scarecrow. But if you say no, it's a different response. It says, such a brave, foolish curiosity. It will struggle then, and it will bleed, and it will fall. And one day, when it finds itself beaten and broken, gasping for air, choking on its own blood and tears, that will be the day that it kneels, and I will consume it. I don't know what to make of that. It's slightly disturbing. Okay, we have another chain hands guy up here. I'm gonna do my thing and throw shit at him to pull him. That way he can come down here and fight me like a man. Come on, man, let's get close and personal. And with that, we have our next sanctuary directly below us. Kill this guy, and then the shield guy wakes up. Ooh, we got another dirk. If you don't want to get hit by these things when you run over the tripwire, I recommend you destroy them, like that. And now we've reached our second sanctuary. Good stuff. We have plenty of salt, so we can level up a few more times. Why not? And we got ourselves 3 more black pearls, too. Let's see how many we have. We have 15 black pearls at our disposal. I'm not going to go through the skill tree just yet. I'm not going to spend any of my black pearls. But I think I'm going to do a little bit of research, figure out exactly what I want to do, and I will go over the skills and start applying stat points in the second part. But I think that's a good place to stop. Let me know what you guys think of this game. Let me know if you're enjoying it. I've had a lot of fun playing it. I'm glad that you guys are joining me on my first playthrough. And just let me know what you think. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your faithful host, Let's Play Dark Souls HD, and I'll see you guys in the next video.